ओके, तो हमारा जो फोकस्ड है अभी, व्हाट वी आर गोइंग टू डिस्कस हियर टुडे, अगर हम बात करेंगे अभी जो है हमारे पास, हम एक सिंपल सा एल्गोरिदम देखेंगे बेटा, क्या देखेंगे? ठीक है। और उस पे हम देखेंगे कैसे हम अपने मॉडल को ट्रेन कर सकते हैं और कैसे उससे प्रिडिक्ट करा सकते हैं। ठीक है, एक छोटा सा एल्गोरिदम देखेंगे हम और जानेंगे कैसे उससे हम अपनी चीज़ को ट्रेन कर सकते हैं। ठीक है बेटा, एक छोटी मोटी सी सिंपल एग्जांपल ले लेंगे हम। ठीक है, बट उसके लिए पहले आपको पता होना चाहिए ट्रेनिंग डेटा क्या होता है और टेस्टिंग डेटा क्या होता है, और व्हाट इज एन एमएल। लेट्स कम टू द फर्स्ट लेक्चर विच वी डिस्कस्ड, राइट? व्हाट इज एन एमएल and what is training data and what is testing data, right? Shabash, anybody? Can you give me any example what is training and what is testing? Tejas? Yes, Udita, go
Not a
ahead, dear.
Yes, sir. So basically, training data is the example, like the data that we provide to our model so that it can learn and derive information from it. And testing is a different set of data from which we test if the information has been processed by the model.
Okay, okay, good, good. Yes, Vansh, would you like to add anything?
no, sir.
Okay. Tejas, would you like to add anything?
Nothing.
हाँ हाँ,
Nothing.
okay, nothing. ठीक है. So, like Udita said, training is a data on which you train your model, right? It's kind of a, let's suppose you are teaching a kid about something. You show him lots of examples, right? The examples showing to a kid are your model on which you are trying to teach him or her, or your model is a test training data. It's a training data, right? And testing is a kind of a data, different data set, I would say a different set of data points on which you check your model how it has trained, and how it is performing now. It's like a suppose, for example, I gave you 10 questions and I ask you, 10 mathematical problems. I ask you, check these. This is how we have solved it and this is how, what is the output. So you are doing practice of it and you are actually happening behind this, you are training yourself. Now I ask you, this is the questions for your exam. When exam in exam I gave you different set of questions. On the base of that, now I can check how well you have trained on the data set I gave you earlier, on the base of which you train yourself. So testing is that kind of a data on which you check the model, huh? Okay, so it can be a different data points, it can have a different subset of a data on which you check the your model. Okay, then accordingly you decide how your model is performing, how your model is performing. Let's suppose, for example, I teach a child, I showed a child pictures of cat and dog, suppose 10 pictures. Later I took him out and I showed him actual dog and cat, and now I checked, okay, that kid was able to identify or predict cat and dog. So the dog and cat I showed him later is called the testing part, right? Is it clear? So this is how we are going to do. We are going to train our model, and we are going to test it, okay? And later we are going to see whether it is going to predict or not. Is it clear? Now, in training data, you will see a term called features. We oftenly say features in ML. What does features mean? Anybody? Features. Features are actually those columns on which you train your data. Okay. And another part, you can say in a, let's suppose I have a file, CSV file. There are some columns. Let's suppose I have a data set, home prices predictions, right? In that CSV file, I have a column area of the house, and another column I have bedrooms, and another column I have a price. Okay. So let's suppose there is a house, it has 2000 square feet of area and four bedrooms, and it is price is, let's suppose, 5 lakh rupees. Okay. Another row is, it has having 3000 area of square feet and six bedrooms, and its price is 6 lakh rupees, for example, right? So when I will took this data, and based on this data I will train my model, right? So later when I'm training the data, behind the scene it will find that pattern in the data, and when I'm going to give it a new data point based on the existing training data, what it had learned from it, it will give me the price of that values, right? So here area and bedrooms are like features on which you are training, right? And price is the output we want later, right? So you can say price, also known as target or dependent variable or dependent column, and area and bedrooms you can consider are inputs, right? So it's like this. Suppose I gave you a mathematics question, a linear equation, for example. It's a question. Now I have also given solution to it, and the at the end is a result. So what you are doing, you are training yourself on the base of question and also based on the output, right? This way also we can train, right? So same thing, when there is a data, it has some columns which are independent, and always there is going to be a column which is going to be a dependent, the predicted value which you have to predict later on a new data point. So those input columns are called as features. Okay. On based on that based on that features we train our model, and also on targeted value or predicted value or output value we also train. And later when we give some data points, especially we give at that time only input features, and our model will predict. Okay. Is it clear? Samriddhi, Arsh, Ashman, Kiara, Aryan,
Yes, sir.
Tejas?
Clear.
पक्का पक्का? Any question? Anybody has any? It's like suppose हमारे पास, अब मैं थोड़ा सा इसको समझाने की कोशिश करूंगा. It's like you know it's all about data. If there is no data, you cannot train a ML model. So data is important. But again, very important thing, you need to check the data I am training my model. It should be cleaned. It should be. If there is no clean data, your model will not behave well. समझ आ रही है बात? So it has to be clean data. There shouldn't be missing values. There shouldn't be wrong formats. So that is the reason whenever you are training the model, you need always to check the info of your data first. So which we did yesterday, right? Using info method, or you can check null values is null dot some function, right? So that is get to know about your data which you are dealing with. Okay. Is it clear? So the example I am going to show you today, a very simple look. In ML, you will find machine learning has types, right? Right? Supervised, unsupervised, and reinforcement learnings, right? These are the types of machine learning, right? Anybody has idea what is supervised machine learning, what is unsupervised, and what is reinforcement learning? No idea? So ML has the three types. So how you are going to teach your machine learning, it can have three types. Supervised, when you have a data, it is labeled. When you have a data, it is means everything is mentioned, like every column's label mentioned. Let's suppose I have a box, inside it there is something, but it has a label. Let's suppose it's a, for example, mirchi, it sugar, right? When you have a data in labeled form, we called it. On the basis of that data, when you are training a model, which is called supervised machine learning. Is it clear? When you have a data, there is no labeling in the data. Let's suppose I have toys, I have boxes, but there is no labeling in it. Now what you are doing, you are checking the shape, size, properties of that data, and based on that data you are categorizing it. means you have a unlabeled data. That's called unsupervised machine learning, when you have to train your model based on that data. Okay, that's called unsupervised. Another thing is reinforcement learning. It's like having trial and error. Yeah, like suppose uh, you want to train a dog how to jump. You are showing him suppose a treat. It's trying to jump it. Huh? Trail. Huh? We fail and we learn. We fail and we learn. Right. Let's suppose you are teaching someone how to ride a bicycle. Right. You are teaching him. That person is failing, and next time that person I shouldn't do that. Right. Hit and trial. Okay, that's called reinforcement learning. So you teach also your ML in such a way also. In each learning there are different kind of algorithms, right, which we use in order to train our model. How to train in supervised, we have lots of algorithms, like we have a linear regression, we have logistic regressions, decision tree, random forest, knn, uh, svm, decision trees, grid search, uh, uh, and more. Such kind of algorithms are supervised machine learning algorithms. But remember that when you are teaching your model and you have a data, labeled data, it is called supervised machine learning, right? Right. But remember one thing: when you have a supervised machine learning or there is a problem, it is going to have two kind of problems. Either it is a regression based problem or it is a classification based problem, which you need to solve. Based on the problem's nature, you will choose an algorithm. What does regression mean? Regression means when you have to predict a number, a numerical value. Let's suppose I am asked you, create a model that should predict what is going to be temperature tomorrow. It can be any number, right? I have a data for last 10 years of particular state. Based on that data, make a model that should give me the enough temperature if I want. It's a regression based problem. Okay. Another thing is classification, like when you have to predict like yes or no, true or false, email is a spam or not, whether that person will buy this or not. When you have to deal with such kind of problems, it's a classification based problem, and we choose accordingly the algorithm, because you know, for which you are creating a model, you will know what is the problem, what is the nature of it. So once you the nature of it, then you will decide algorithm accordingly. Okay. What is an algorithm? Algorithm is nothing, just a set of sequential steps to solve your problem, right? So there are already predefined algorithms that we can use to solve our problem. But first you need to know the nature of a problem. Once you know the nature of a problem, then you can choose according an algorithm. Is it clear? Anybody has any question? Simriddhi, Arsh, Ashman, turn on your cameras. Please let me know if there's any question.
Sir, if you could please repeat unsupervised type.
Unsupervised algorithms are those algorithms there where you have a data unlabeled, you can think, and it has its own algorithms, right, which we use to solve such kind of problems. Okay, I didn't mention any algorithm under unsupervised. Okay. Okay, so the only thing you need to understand, on the data you have, you need to check whether it is a labeled or not labeled. Okay. So ML has also lots of types. You will see deep learning, right? We use it where we have a complex problems, like you need to find information from images, videos, speeches. Huh? There we don't use ML. We use deep learnings, but they are very costly. Like I defined in the first lecture, like we discussed in the first lecture. But when there is a textual problem, simple problems, you don't have to use deep learning. Okay, like face recognition systems, automatic capturing, that is actually deep learning algorithms are running behind the scene. Is it clear? Anybody has any question related to it? Arsh,
No, sir, no questions.
Ashman?
No, sir.
No. Arsh, you are not visible. Okay. Yes, yes, you are visible now. Okay, now let's take a very simple exam. Now you got an idea what is training and what is testing data, huh? I will take an example where I'll take a data of a, let's suppose, house price. House price. I need to predict the house price. Okay, let's suppose I have a data of a particular area. Let's suppose Pune. Let's suppose Delhi, Noida. Let's suppose Chennai. Let's suppose Kanpur. Okay, so I have a data. Let's suppose I have a temperature data of particular city or particular area, and I have been told do one thing, create a model that should predict us the temperature for the whole week so that we can manage or do things accordingly. So first you need to have a data. If you don't have a data, you can't create the model. Okay, and that data should be cleaned. Let's suppose I have a data and it is labeled form. I have column area, it is there. Area, and under it there are areas. Another column bedrooms. Okay. Another column there is a age of the house. Under it has a data, and there is a column price, mentioned price also. So on the base of that data, I can train my model. I can teach my model, and internally it will start finding the pattern when I am going to give it a data point. Like suppose I need to know what is going to be the price if I want a house should have a 4,000 square feet area and number of bedrooms should be 10 and age should be only 5 years. Give me the price, a predicted price. So it should able to do that. Okay. Is it clear? Okay. Any questions so far? So let's see it in action. But remember, can you tell me which kind of problem it is? Is it regression based or it is a classification? Wait, let me ask to Chiara. Is it a classification based problem or a regression?
Sir, could you repeat the question?
I have to find the price of a house,
So it's a regression.
right? Arsh, is Chiara correct?
Sorry, sir.
Is she correct? I
So I
asked,
didn't
the
hear, sir.
question
Sorry.
was, I need to predict the house price, right? And we have a data area, age, and bedroom, and we need to predict uh, uh, price of the house, right? Is it a regression based problem or um I would say a classification? Regression or classification?
I
Regression,
think regression.
right? Because we don't know, right? We need to
Yeah.
predict a number. It can be anything, right? Let's suppose I have been asked create an app that should able to identify whether a text is a spam or not. I need to create a model for it. So tell me which kind of problem it is and which algorithm I should use.
Classification.
Yes, it's a classification, right? Or let's suppose I have been, told create a model that should predict whether a person has a disease or not. What kind of problem it is? Again, it's a classification, right? So you need to check the data and the nature of the problem, and you decide algorithm accordingly. Huh? Then how? Which algorithm we should choose? Look, in regression we have lots of algorithms, and then it depends upon the complexity of the data and which model is going to perform well. There are other ways to know. Let's suppose I have to predict house price prediction. I can use linear regression. I can use also decision tree. I can use also random forest, because these three all algorithms are regression based algorithms. I can use them, but how should I know which one I should prefer? So there is a thing called, there is a grid search, there is a cross validation things through which you can validate your model, or through which you can know on the base of which parameters my model will perform better, and then you can choose accordingly a particular algorithm. Okay. So look, that much of things we cannot learn only in 12 days of session. Remember that. So if I am going to show you only one algorithm here, it is just giving an idea how things are working behind the scene, right? If you are using any AI tool, it is already a trained model, right? It has already some data on which it was trained. If you are asking it a question or you are typing a text, how it is giving you answer, that's what to, what we are trying to understand here, knowing the terminology happening behind the scene. Okay, is it clear? So there is no magic behind the scene. Now some people think, oh, it's a magic. In IT, there is no magic. Remember that. It's all logic. It's all logic. And everything is data. Getting my point? Okay. Can you give me, can anyone tell what is a linear regression? Anyone?
Like it uses a straight line of the form y is equal to mx plus c, and then we can get to know the other values. Like it's generally used in sequence and series, which is it's a more enhanced form where we can have a sequence inside a sequence, sort of that.
Okay. So anybody has idea about y is equal to mx plus c or b or anything else? Anybody? So I didn't use especially a word straight line. बचपन में हम पढ़ते थे, ग्राफ डालते थे इस फॉर्मूला का लीनियर, जब हम बचपन में पढ़ते थे लीनियर अलजेब्रा इन वन वेरिएबल, राइट? वहां पे हम देखते थे ग्राफ्स कैसे. हाउ ए स्ट्रेट लाइन प्रेडिक्ट्स माय न्यू पॉइंट? कैन यू गेस? कैन यू अंडरस्टैंड हाउ? हमने कहा एक स्ट्रेट लाइन हम डालते हैं एग्जिस्टिंग डेटा पॉइंट पे, उसकी वजह से मैं ऐसा डेटा पॉइंट उसको बाद में बोलता हूँ जिस बेस पे मुझे वो प्रिडिक्ट करके देता है. कैसे पॉसिबल है? जरा 2 मिनट के लिए सोचो. Think about it. I have a data point. Let's suppose I have an area, right? And I have a price. I have existing data points. If I'll try to draw a graph of it, you will get a straight line, right? How it is going to give me the new data new data point based on this straight line? When let's suppose I'm asking what is going to be the area. If area is this, what is going to be the price? How it is possible?
We'll just find the point on the line plotted.
Exactly. Look, let's suppose if it checks the data's nature, right, and it shows it is following a straight line, then definitely it is forming a pattern, right? So definitely, if we'll increase that line, definitely it will also, you know, overlap some over some points, right? That could be your predicted values. So getting my point? In every algorithm, behind the scene, there is a mathematics. That is the reason I said mathematics is very important in ML AI. Okay. Look, one thing is using AI tools. For that, if you'll not use, if you just want to use it and solve your problem, it's okay. For that, you don't have to know about mathematics. Second thing is knowing about it, how it is working behind the scene. Then you should have at least mathematics knowledge, right? Let's talk about this equation. Y is equal to mx plus b. So, getting my point a bit, थोड़ा सा tricky है ये, huh? But now, not let's not discuss it here right now. Let's focus directly on the problem right now. Okay. So let me share my screen and let's solve our problem. How we are going to solve our problem using linear regression, and let's take an example of a data set. Okay. Is it clear? So let me know if my screen is visible, huh? Let me know if my screen is visible. Is it visible?
Yes.
So let me use Google Colab, okay? Or I can use VS Code. The choice is yours. The choice is. So let me do one thing. Let me do one thing here. Let me just close this also. I have this Google Colab, right? Now let me do one thing. I have this data set, house prices. Let me show you, huh? Let's suppose I have this data set where I have an area column and I have their respected price. Let's suppose if area is A21, the price is this. If area is this, the price is this. This is my data. You can see, right? Is everyone able to see this?
Yeah.
Now, what I want to do based on this data, I want to train my model, and later I will give it an area and it should predict the price based on this data. And like I said, the more data you have, the better model will give the output, right? The lesser data you have, the less, the lesser accuracy it can have. इसीलिए जितना ज़्यादा डेटा आपके पास मॉडल के पास होगा, जितने ज़्यादा डेटा पे आप उसको ट्रेन कराओगे, उतना ही वो बेटर आंसर देगा. तेजस, इज इट ओके?
Yes.
आगे आ जाओ, थोड़ा सा आपका सर दिख नहीं रहा है. अभी भी थोड़ा सा ही दिखता है. ठीक है, चलेगा. सो आई हैव दिस फाइल, राइट? I have only one independent column here, which is area, right? And this price is dependent value, because why? This price is depending upon this area, right? So I can say this is my feature and this is my target value. Okay, once this is clear, Ashman, Samriddhi, sorry, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now let me do one thing. Let me just upload this file inside my Google Colab, and let's try to train my model based on this data. Let's wait for it. So we are going to use very simple way. We are not going to use any tough things here. Very simple. Let's just click on this. Let's try to upload this file inside my Colab, or you can just do the same thing in VS Code. Okay, but the library I'm going to use for ML, which is sklearn. If you haven't used it before, you need to install it, like pip install sklearn, like we did yesterday, right? Is it clear, Arsh? But if you are doing it right away in Colab, you don't have to install it. But I will suggest you, please use VS Code, so that you should also get hands on how to install things on your machine. Okay, beta? Is it clear? Now let's do one thing. So my data is here now. Now let's do one thing. So this is my file, home underscore prices.csv. So what is going to be the first thing I need to use? I need to use import pandas as PD, right? For what reason? Because I want to read this data. I need to read it. In order to train my model, this data, I need to first read it. Isn't it? Another thing I will use from sklearn, I will use, sorry, 1 second. I will use linear model. See, sir, we are trying to import. This is one way importing. This is another way of importing. What is the difference between using from and just import? Can anyone explain this? Simply using import or just from way. What is the difference? See, if you are using import pandas, that means you are asking it to include whole functionality inside this file. That means with the help of this alias, I'll be able to access anything from it. By mentioning this from sklearn, I am asking it only from sklearn import model selection, from it only import linear model, not the whole things. Okay, so when you need a part of from a module, you always prefer from way, okay, rather than importing the whole file. Is it clear, Arsh? So when we are using from, that means we are asking it to only import this one thing, this thing only. But when we are using this way, it means we are asking to import everything. We can import everything inside it. But when we are asking from sklearn dot model selection, only import linear model. That means I am asking it, I need only linear model and related to this functionality, not everything inside sklearn. Is it clear? Now let's do one thing. We are getting error. Why? Let's see what is the issue. Why we are getting error this? One second, let me just import this. Okay, this is okay. Now let's try to first read the file. We can do it later. Let's say df dot pd dot read csv, right? So what is the file name? The file name is home underscore prices dot csv, right? So you can see the file here, this file, home underscore prices dot csv file. Now let's try to run this and let's see. We were able to read the data from a file. Is it clear? Any question? Now what we are going to do, we are going to, no, you need to, I would say, extract input data and output data, which is called independent and dependent, from this data frame. You need to take it out. You need to separate independent columns and a dependent column is going to be always one, remember that. Okay, so let's take independent column from here. So let's say in ML world we always, you know, use capital S X as an independent in order to, you know, differentiate. It's an independent column. So we are going to ask it do one thing like this. There are other ways also. We are just asking it store independent on this and dependent on this, and let's print now x and print y, and let's see, we are getting data like this, but we need the whole column. We need the whole column. How we are going to do that? Let's see. Let's suppose we don't need values only, we need the whole thing, right? So how I'm going to do that? I can say df and again like this, from it let's say area, and for y we can simply say this. Oh, what is missing here? Or what is wrong here? One thing. So we are getting data here, right? Is it clear? Anybody? Any questions so far? But let's do one thing. Let's do one thing. Let's check the data. Let's check the data type of this X and Y, because when you are training the data, it needs to be a data frame and a series. It has to be an data frame and a series. Independent columns should be always as an data frame, and dependent column has to be a series. Let's see that. Let's say what is the data type of it. Print type of X and Y. Let's see. So yeah, they are both series now, right? But we need area column as a what? It has to be, it has to be a data frame. It has to be a, so how we can extract it as a data frame? Anybody? Can you guess how we are going to do that? Anybody? Yes, Udita?
Typecasting maybe.
No, another way. Yesterday I showed you when we were discussing pandas. Tejas?
Thinking.
Okay, Ashman, what about you? Go ahead, tell me. Ashman,
No idea.
no idea. So you see the issue what is here. Both are now as a series here, but we need actually here what? We need actually a data frame here. Is it clear? So how we gonna do that? Because remember that whenever you are training a data model, independent column is going to be always a data frame. So let's do that. Let's try it again. Let's see what I'm going to do. Let's run this again, this cell. Now let's do one thing. Instead of this, you can use df, then you can use like this. We are asking it drop price. If we are dropping the price along axis, 1 means column. Along column, what it will do, it will make it as a, no, if we are deleting in our data frame as a price, what is left then? Area, right? This is one way. I'll show both ways. Another easiest way I'll show. So where this will comes, it comes handy when you have lots of independent columns. Let's suppose bedroom, age, and other things also. Instead of mentioning all the columns in independent, it's better to drop only that column and you will get automatically only independent columns. Okay, this is one way. Let me show you. Let's print x. See, you are getting area also here at the labeled, right? Now you can say it is a data frame. Let me check the type of it. See, it has a data frame right now. Clear? So why we use this way? It is better when you have lots of independent columns on the base of which you are training your model. Rather than mentioning all independent columns in an array in a square brackets, it is better to only drop that particular column which is dependent. You will get automatically only independent column. This is one way. Is it clear? Another way, let's try it again. इसमें कोई question है किसी को? Anyone has any question related to this? No. So let me show you another way. Let's try it again. Let's run this again. And now let me do one thing. Instead of this, we can use x is equal to df of, again we have to use square brackets like area. This is another way. And if you will check print type of x, you will see you are getting data frame. Is it clear? This is easiest way. But let's suppose you have 4 independent columns, then you have to use comma, again something else like age, bedrooms, this way. So it is clear. तो ये एक तरीका है इंडिपेंडेंट कॉलम निकालने का, स्क्वायर ब्रैकेट्स दो, ताकि एज अ डेटा फ्रेम ये निकले। या फिर दूसरा तरीका है ड्रॉप करके डिपेंडेंट कॉलम को ड्रॉप करो, ऑटोमेटिकली आपको सारे इंडिपेंडेंट कॉलम्स मिल जाएंगे। इज इट क्लियर? केशव, उदिता, अर्श, आशमन, तेजस, बाउंसर तो नहीं जा रहा है?
No, sir.
वंस, बाउंस तो नहीं जा रहा है?
Please explain it again.
Which one dear? What do you want me to
Sir,
explain?
nothing,
One,
sir. Never mind. Never mind.
is it clear?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So it is up to you whether you want to use drop way or you just want to mention all independent columns here, right? So why this is better? It will help you one way if there are lots of independent columns on your data set. You don't have to mention each, right? You are just dropping that dependent, automatically you will get only independent columns, okay? Now, next thing is, if you want to extract dependent column is going to be always a series. So you have to mention it like this. So you can see you are getting series now. So now you have independent data and you have a dependent data. Now I got what I needed for training the model. I have independent and I have dependent. My X capital contains independent, my small y contains dependent. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Because in my data there was no issue, there was no missing values. That is the reason, instead of checking first data type or whether there is a missing value, there was no missing value. You would have used it also, huh? Before this line, you would have used like this: print df.info, df.info method also, in order to check your data. You can see we have total 50 entries, 50 rows, we have 2 columns. You can see there is no null value. Got it? Or also you could have used df.isNull, df.isNull.sum. So you can see there is no null value. So my data is perfectly correct. There is no issue with it. Area is also integer type, price is also correct. If maybe let's suppose area was object, so I had to convert it first. Or if there was a missing value in my data set, I had to do that first cleaning step. Then I have to follow these steps. So यहाँ तक clear है बेटा? Any questions so far? So now I was able to get my X and independent data. I extracted independent and I extracted dependent, right? Now let's use our algorithm. Let's use our algorithm to train our model. So I am going to use linear regression because this problem is a regression based problem, right? I need to predict a number and it's a very simple data. That is the reason I am using linear regression. If it would have a complex data and large data and lots of columns, so I would have prefer random forest or decision trees. But it's a simple data, not much in it. So that is the reason I am going with linear regression algorithm. Okay. Is it clear? Now, next step is what I need to do. I need to import linear regression. I need to import, so I will say from sklearn, dot, there is a thing called linear model, import linear regression, like this. So this is how I am including my algorithm here. Which algorithm I am using? Linear regression. So it will use behind the scene which function y is equal to mx plus b. It will train itself in that way. Okay. Anybody has any question? So I ask it include which algorithm here? Linear regression. Okay. Now let me create the object of my model. Let's call it model is equal to linear regression. You have to create the linear regression object like this. So let me run it. I created a model, but I haven't teach it yet based on my given data. I just created, no, I selected a child. And I have already asked him, I am going to train you based on images. Okay. Use this way. Okay. But I haven't showed him yet pictures on which I am going to train it. So are you connecting? So I chose which algorithm? Linear regression. Why? My problem is regression based. Okay. So I chose that child that has a capability to predict number based. But I haven't teach him yet. So how I'm going to do that? So I will say model dot fit method, and I am giving it a data independent and dependent. That's it. This is how it is going to train itself. That's it. I ask it to train based on independent and dependent. So the moment I'll run it, now my model is trained now. I can use this model to predict anything, to predict the house prices. But it will give me prediction of a house price based on which the area I am going to give it, right? Because I trained it based on the area and the price. What I needed at the end? A price of a house. Is it clear? आशमन, तो मैंने क्या किया, यहाँ पे अपने मॉडल को ट्रेन किया इंडिपेंडेंट और डिपेंडेंट पे.
Yes, sir.
By using which method? Fit method. So it was trained now. Ab, let's see how it is going to predict. Let's see. Let me say print. Let ask it predicted price. Let's say predicted price. I am going to say model dot predict and you have to give in 2 square bracket because जब आपको predict करना है area, what was the data type of area? It was data frame,
Data
right?
flow.
So that is the reason I'm also giving data frame here. Predict me the price for 3000 square feet. Let's see. So it is showing me the price is going to be this. It is 1,98,000. How? Based on this data, we trained it, right? Now let's ask it, I need price of the house whose area is 3500 square feet. It is showing me it is going to be 2,22,000. Can you see it? So if you'll check your data, see there was no 3500 square feet area, but still it was able to give me the price which is 2,22,000, right? Let's suppose I want it to give me the price of the house whose area is 2700 square feet. Let's see how close it is going to be. 2700 square feet. So you can see it's showing 1,83,000 rupees. If I'll check my data, see it is very close. Can you see it? अब the whole game depends upon the data. जितना आप ज्यादा डेटा दोगे उतना ही मॉडल आपका बेटर परफॉर्म करेगा. You saw it, only couple of steps you were able to create your own ML model and now you can use this to predict the prices. किसी को समझ आ रहा है या मैं बस अपने साथ ही बात कर रहा हूँ यार?
फिर समझ
हाँ,
में आया.
समझ आ रहा है?
Yes, sir.
Udita, is it clear, beta?
Yes, sir.
Arsh, is it clear? Aryan, Tejas,
Yeah.
Samriddhi, Vansh, Keshav.
Yes, sir.
So here was only having one independent column based on which we had to train our model. Let's suppose you have a data set. In that data set, you have area, bedroom, age of the house, and also prices. Now you need to predict the price. And later you will ask your model, if I need a house, it has 400 square feet and 2 bedrooms and 2 years of old it should have. It will give you the price, right? But you need to first train your model based on that data. Right now, I just trained my model on the base of only 2 columns. One is independent column and one is dependent column. Right? Aryan, clear hai beta?
Yes, sir, but then I was thinking that if like we're using linear regression in this, so
Hmm.
let's say the data we are using it to train,
Uh,
if we plot a graph based on that and we
uh,
don't get a straight line at all, like data are truly random, then won't this linear regression fail?
yes, but that is the reason. When you will try to draw the graph of every data follows a pattern. Remember that.
Okay.
Every data follows a pattern. If you will take the temperature from
Mm-hmm.
10 years or 20 years, that is the
Mm-hmm.
reason it cannot be the exact price. It gives a
Right.
predicted, probable, very
Okay.
close.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe there is going to be a point, it is going to be a below line, just, or it is
Okay.
going to be up, but still a close value it is giving, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Getting my point?
Right. Yes.
तो ये चीज क्लियर है? हाँ या ना
Mm-hmm.
बता दो सभी. So let's do one thing. Let's take another example. Let's say I have a data. Let me use some dummy data. Area, for example. Let me add couple of more independent columns. Huh? अबे यार कर दे जल्दी जल्दी ऐड। ओके लेट्स कीप इट। एंड एक काम करते हैं और एक लेते हैं, लेट्स से एज। ओके लेट्स से another thing, bedrooms, and also bathrooms you can have. Okay, stories. That's it. Let's suppose this is the data we have, huh? And one important thing we forgot to mention, that is price, which we need to calculate, right? Let's suppose, let me do one thing, huh? ये सही डेटा नहीं दे रहा है, लेट्स डू वन थिंग, वन सेकेंड है, मुझे लगा था एक सही डेटा देगा, वन सेकेंड है, क्रिएट अ डमी data set for house price having area, age, bedrooms, and price. Let's see. Let's wait for it to generate. Okay, we have this, right? Let's do one thing. Let me download this file, okay? Let me download this. Okay, now let me just upload this file now, huh? So let me delete this file and let me upload something else. This one. Now I have this file, right? Now let me read this file from this file. So I say df is equal to pd dot read csv. What is the file name we have? It is house price underscore dummy. Okay, let's run it.
Sir,
Is there
it's
any?
home price dummy. You've typed in home price.
Okay, let's run it. See, now let's suppose I have this data. You can see how many independent columns I have: area, age, bedrooms. And based on this area, age, bedrooms, I need to predict the price now. Is it clear, Vansh? Okay, now let's do one thing. Let's again separate our independent columns. Let's say X. Again, let's say df dot. I can simply drop my price, or I have to mention each and every column, right? So let's suppose I am asking to drop only price and store it in X, and just give me price also and store in Y. See, X is now data frame in series is Y. Now let me just print my X, and you can see it has area, age, and bedroom. These are independent columns, right? Samriddhi, Tejas, Aryan, are you getting it?
Yes.
Now also let me just display print Y, and you can see it has only one series column. Now let me train my model again. I will use again model is equal to simply, let's create a linear regression, and that's it. My model is trained now. Now let's predict. Let's say print predicted price. Look how many things are I am giving now. It is area, and the second thing is age, and this is number of bedrooms. So let's see what is going to be the price for it. The price is going to be 1,82,755 rupees. Is it clear? So let's suppose I need 1500 square feet area, and I want age should be only 2 years, and number of bedrooms should be 12. And you can see we are getting 3,86,549 rupees. Is it clear? Anybody has any question related to this? So this is how you can make your own ML model and how you can train this model based on your data. So this is label data, right? For every column I have a data, right? Area, age and bedrooms. So this is what we call label data. So that is the reason I use supervised algorithm, machine learning algorithm, which is linear regression. And my problem was linear regression, regression based problem. So that is the reason I choose uh, linear regression. And it was very simple data, not much, only having, 50 rows. What if there is a million rows? So that time it is better to use another regression based algorithm like random forest you can choose because it performs well. But when you have a simple data, very less amount of data, you can go for linear regression. So is it clear so far? Anybody has any question? तो यहाँ तक सारी चीज़ें क्लियर हो गई, पक्का आया समझ कैसे हम अपना एक सिंपल एमएल मॉडल बना सकते हैं, कैसे हम अपने मॉडल को ट्रेन कर सकते हैं और कैसे उससे हम प्रिडिक्ट करा सकते हैं. केशव, टर्न ऑन योर कैमरा.
Sir,
क्लियर है?
what do we do about irregular data sets?
सॉरी, हाँ वंश.
Sir, what do we do about irregular data sets?
Like what regular data set you mean?
Sir, like there are some data sets that are irregular in nature. How is the model trained on them?
So depending upon the nature of a data, let's suppose uh, if we'll talk about real world data, it is going to be messy, right? So you have to clean it first, huh? Then you have to choose algorithm accordingly. Or if there is a data without labeling, then you choose accordingly algorithm. Huh? You will use unsupervised learning algorithm. Okay.
So first we organize it, then we
Yes.
train the
Yes.
model.
Yes. Better. So look, my data was organized already. It was clean, right? So that is the first step. When you are gathering the data, you need to check, do I need to do any pre-processing or cleaning with the data? Then later you train the model. Okay. That is very important. You cannot directly read data from a pile. Let's suppose there is a departmental store, or let's suppose there is a e-commerce website, Amazon. They shared a file. It is not going to be it is going to be messy. Not the football player Messi, the mess data you will see, right? So you have to format it. You need to organize. You need to clean it. Then after that, you can use a particular algorithm. Okay. Okay. Let's suppose you have a data set of images. Are you going to use supervised machine learning algorithm? Let's suppose, are you going to use linear regression? No, you have to use deep learning. You have to use another algorithms for it. So it depends upon the data you are dealing with and the nature of it. So everything is clear? Hi
Yes,
Anna,
sir. Yes.
Habibi, Arsh will know Habibi, Habibi. Arsh, do you know any Arabic words?
So I'm not that strong that I
Any
I fail at it, so I'm not good at Arabic.
any word you know specifically? I think your internet is slow.
Maybe.
Okay, okay, no worries. So is
So
it clear?
maybe.
Habibi, yeah? Okay. So is it clear? उदिता यहाँ तक समझ आया
Yes,
अच्छे
sir.
से? Can you do it now? क्या आप अपना मॉडल ट्रेन कर सकते हैं अब? Let's suppose आपको मैं बोलूंगा take a data set from a Kaggle of temperature data of your cities. And tomorrow you will show me a model that should predict what is going to be temperature tomorrow. Can you do that?
Yes.
Pakka?
Yes,
So
sir.
write down your homework. So tomorrow I will check from everyone, take any data which is having a nature of regression of your area, and tomorrow you will show me a model that will predict. Let's suppose house prices, let's suppose stock prices, let's suppose temperature or anything, but up your specific area, and train your model and show me the output. Is it clear? So let's
So
start with
can you
Tejas.
repeat?
Tejas, Arish, I said take any data of your area, like let's suppose related to house price or temperature, or let's suppose anything else. The data which is related to regression, okay? And train your model and predict the price. Yeah, anything what you have to predict, okay? So Tejas, on which problem you will work? Any idea?
Maybe electricity bill price based on area and price of the house.
Okay. So let's work on electricity, okay? Okay. Samriddhi, on which you are going to work?
Um, so maybe a temperature model.
Okay, just work on temperature model of your area, okay? Take necessary features, which is required for temperature, like wind, season, right? Humidity, all that features you need to consider. What about Aryan?
So I will do on, I have the closing and opening ranks for colleges in counseling process. So for that, I will do.
Okay, okay. Or what about Kiara?
So could I also do for temperature?
Temperature. Okay, but on your local area, right?
Yes.
Okay, Arsh, what about you?
So temperature.
Temperature. Okay.
Yeah.
Odita,
So I'll do on stock prices.
stock prices. Okay. Vansh, what about you?
Sir, stock price.
Stock price. Keshav, what about you?
Yes, sir.
Sir, I was thinking about house price or maybe office prices, like the offices which are in the mall, right? Which are bought on either rent or they are bought by the person. I was thinking.
Okay, okay. Ashwin.
I will do stock prices.
Okay, stock prices. Okay, stock prices, temperature, electricity, and this rental house prices. Okay. So you got an idea about ML now? Any questions so far? It's like a small drop of from a river, you can say. We have learned. Okay, small drop of it. There are lots of things in it, but now the objective was getting an idea about how ML works behind the scene. This is how you train. That means you are using Claude, Chat GPT, or anything. In same way, they are trained behind the scene. And when you are using them, they are getting it from that data on which they were trained, right? Okay. So I think this is enough for this session also. Let's meet tomorrow, 6, I think, right? 6 p.m. So do
Yes.
you have any question? Yes, Arsh?
Also, just another question. I need to do a reflection, right? So, what did we learn today? Can you just give me an overview?
We try to learn, in first session, we learned how we can handle exception handling. Okay. And also we learned how to read data from different sources, right? Panda, using Panda, right? CSV and something else. In second session, it was more focus about how, what is ML, what is training, what is testing data. Okay. and
Okay.
and how we can create your own ML model. What is supervised machine learning? What is unsupervised? What is reinforcement learning? Okay. So we
So
also
supervised learning, which are the other ones?
unsupervised and reinforcement learning. But we only use sorry, supervised machine learning, and in it we solved a regression based problem, right? There are two kinds of problems that can be solved using supervised machine learning, either regression or classification. So we were able to solve a regression based problem. Okay. So which algorithm is linear regression? So so we learn how to train our model, how to predict. Okay. Clear? Any question? Anybody? Udita?
No, sir, no questions.
तो ये सेशन थोड़ा सा हेल्पफुल था या नहीं था? आइडिया मिला कैसे चीजें होती है रियल वर्ल्ड में, कैसे
Yes.
ट्रेन होता है? उदिता, कुछ हुआ आइडिया थोड़ा सा बेटा?
Yes, sir.
आशमन, आर्यन,
Yes, sir.
समृद्धि, तेजस, वंश?
Yes, sir.
वंश तो हमेशा हंसता
Yes,
स्माइल
sir.
करता रहता है. ओके. So I hope tomorrow you will show me a model that will predict like temperature or someone's stock price, someone's electricity bill, and maybe other one rental, huh? So I hope everyone will show me tomorrow.
So
So I think
can I
this is
make the stock?
yes, go
So
ahead one.
can I make the stock price one like in a web-based?
You can do it. I know you can use Claude Chat GPT, you can do that. Okay, कोई बात
No,
नहीं, you
sir,
can.
not in that way, like a website version, kind of
You
like,
can do. You
because
can.
I've already half it.
Okay, it's okay. Go ahead. It's good. If you are going to show us the web version of it with good UI, that is okay. That will also help others to understand it, okay? Rather than just console based. Good.
Sir,
Yes, Ashman.
can I not make it linear regression based because like stock prices are very not linear?
It's okay. Look, the objective of having this lecture was to know only how model trains and how predicts. You can use any algorithm. No worries about it. Huh?
Okay, sir.
Okay? Even it will help others also, knowing other algorithms, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there is no restriction. You can use anything.
Okay,
So
sir.
I think let's meet then tomorrow. Huh? Till then, take care. Enjoy rest of the evening, I would say. And bye bye. Okay, let's meet tomorrow again.
Okay, sir. Bye, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank
Bye,
you.
sir.